Hi, Laura. Welcome to our Cozy Cat Press author chat. We're going to talk today kind of about yourself, about your books, what inspires you, and just kind of get to know you a little better. So why don't we get started and let you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I will. I now live in British Columbia, Canada. My husband and I retired here, so I suspect my weather is a lot nicer than your weather right now. But at any rate, I practiced law for many years in New York State and concentrated in the area of elder law. So when I retired about 10 years ago, I got thinking about a project, something to keep me out of mischief. So I thought I'd try my hand at writing. I'd done a little bit before, but this was more my first attempt at a novel. So the first book, I've got both of them here. This is Kinfolk Killers. And the second book is Alaska Assassins. They're both uh, cozies. But I got thinking about the elderly and how vulnerable they can be, especially when they have no close family. So Kinfolk Killers came out of that. And the whole premise of the story was that this lawyer was not a good person. And his whole goal was to bilk lonely seniors out of uh, their money. And so the story progressed from there. The protagonists are a woman named Olive, who had moved to Queens, New York when her husband died to be near to her twin sister. So, and her twin sister lived with her former sister-in-law, her husband having died as well. So there's a sort of a subtext of their relationship. Jean is kind of bossy with Olive, and so their frustrations, sort of the comedic aspects of the novel. And because they're living in a seniors complex, assisted living, Olive gets involved as a volunteer to meet with the people in the nursing home component as a companion, and becomes involved in witnessing this crime, essentially. So I don't want to give too much away, but it's just that she realizes that this fellow is out to do evil to these nursing home residents so he can get their money. So that was a lot of fun. It took a while. The first one took longer because, of course, being new at it, I had to do many drafts, as I'm sure you know. But Cozy Cat Press, Patricia Rockwell, her support, her encouragement, her timely comments really helped bring the book along. So I was very proud of the result. The second one, Alaska Assassins, came out of a trip my husband and I took for an anniversary, took an Alaskan cruise. This was pre-COVID, actually, obviously. And looking at the journal I had kept while we were traveling, I remember how much I enjoyed it. And I thought, well, what if I create another mystery that involves the same characters and on a trip to Alaska? So that's how that one evolved. And it came a lot more easily because I knew my characters, and of course I still remembered the trip very well. So that was a lot of fun too. So I enjoy the process of it, and I hope people enjoy reading them. I've gotten good feedback, and so that's kind of where I'm at this point.
All right. What made you pick cozies? You could have picked something that was a thriller or, a different genre. What made you focus on the cozy mysteries?
Well, like a lot of women of a certain age, I enjoy reading mysteries, and some of the cozies that I've read have been good reads. They're not violent. So I thought, well, I'll give that a try because I could develop the characters and I'm not going to do a sci-fi type of book, and I didn't feel confident attempting. Not that it isn't difficult to write a cozy, but I think you can get started with them, um, and I'm comfortable in that genre.
Do you think you took some of your law background to help you write? Or I know obviously you got some information, some inspiration from being an elderly lawyer, but did you use some of that writing skills or anything like that as an attorney coming into cozies?
I did, although when you do legal writing, you're not doing dialogue, so that was a learning curve. Um, but certainly, my legal background in that area of law with elder law helped inform me in terms of some of the things that went on in the book. I mean, these things can happen, and you do hear of elderly, lonely, vulnerable people being subjected to scams and this sort of thing. So that certainly informed me in creating these scenarios, really. So
Are you working on any other projects at the moment?
I started one, a third one, same characters, and this one involves more mafia types.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at in it. I write best when we spend the winter in Thailand each year since retirement, and I write best there because my husband can go sit by the shore and do crossword puzzles or whatever, and I make this my mornings writing. But of course, since COVID, we weren't able to go this year, and I'm trying at home, but I find it's more difficult, more distractions. Um, Feeling sorry for myself because I'm not in Thailand, and but I'm working away at it. It may have to wait, and hopefully we can go to Thailand next year and do it then. But we'll see.
I was going to ask you a little bit about your writing process. So, where kind of do you, I know obviously said you do better in Thailand, but like at home, do you write quiet in a quiet space, somewhere that has noise, or kind of what works for you?
I find the quiet helpful. We're fortunate in that we have a two-story home, and I have a little home office as part of our one of our guest rooms upstairs. And my husband knows when the door is closed that I'm trying to write. So that's kind of the way we've set it up.
So what made you move from New York to where you are now? Was it like you traveled there and enjoyed it, or just kind of picked the location, or?
We actually lived on Vancouver Island years and years ago, and then moved to New York. And like I say, when I retired, we knew that we would want to come back here, and both of the kids live on the West Coast as well. So that's worked out beautifully, except of course in these COVID times.
Right.
My granddaughter just turned 7 yesterday, and March 1st, and I haven't seen her since Christmas of 2019 because the border is closed. So these these are awkward times for everybody. I can't complain too much.
No, I mean, I get it. It's been a trying year.
Yep, has been.
Fingers crossed that we are moving forward, and hopefully soon things will be a little bit back to normal. I know you said you read a lot of cozy mysteries. Do you have a favorite book or favorite cozy that you've read, or a favorite cozy series that you've read?
Oh, that's well. I always liked Agatha Christie. I'm obviously dating myself. There's a writer in England, M.C. Beaton, that also does um, more slim volumes, for lack of a better word. And I get a kick out of hers. But I also enjoy novels, John Irving and Updike and those writers as well. But there's nothing better on a plane or sitting in an airport than a shorter mystery genre novel that can take your mind off waiting. So that's what I enjoy.
I was thinking, what, um, let's talk a little bit about the process of getting your book selected to be published and that type of thing. Because I know some people, if they're watching, maybe you're wanting to write a novel and they're not really sure to go about that process. So, what did you do to get your book published by Cozy Cat Press?
Well, I sent an inquiry letter, of course, and a summary, book summary, and it was accepted. I was quite fortunate in that regard because I didn't go to any other publishers. I thought, well, this is a niche publisher, and I think Patricia was taken with the story. It obviously needed work, and she was very helpful. Her editor, um, one of her editors, really took me through changes I would have to make to have it acceptable to be published. So I made those, and then the second one she was quite excited about. When I told her, when I was finishing the first one, I said, I do have an idea for a second book with this Alaska assassin. So again, it's a good little publishing house because I think they're very supportive of the authors, and I got good support from other authors in the company too. You know, I emailed a couple of them with questions and got immediate responses. And I think this is wonderful. These YouTube, because I went on this morning just to get an idea of how this would work, and just hearing other authors talk about their books, and I found it helpful.
Yeah, we've really had a lot of success with these. We've liked getting to know kind of the different authors. I know Cozy Cat Press does some group novels. Have you taken part in those, or do you think you might in the future, or is that something that would interest you?
I haven't, and I applaud those who did. When the call went out, I was already working on the second book, and I just didn't feel, I felt I wanted to get it done. I don't know. Writing a chapter and having it fit in with other authors' styles, I mean, that's would be pretty daunting, but I intend to get the book and see how it worked out.
Yeah, I
So
read
I,
the book when it came out, and it was surprising how well everything transitioned because I was like, "Oh, is this really going to work?" Because everybody has a different writing style. But
sure,
honestly, because the editing was so well done that you couldn't really tell that there was different authors. So it was kind of interesting to see. And when we
yeah,
talked with them, it was interesting to see their take on, they were like, "Oh, I was surprised that this happened," and things like that. But pulling it all together was really impressive.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I know we're kind of talking a little bit here and there about other different things. What makes you and your husband, why did you and your husband decide to go to Thailand for like,
Well, good friends uh, went there every year. She was a travel agent before she retired, and they did a tour every year. And I said, I guess it was a year after we moved. It was 2000. It was in 2010, and we said, sure, we'll do this. And we were so enchanted. And the best thing about it was that after the tour, they would stay on in Thailand. So they invited us to come to where they would go, and we just fell in love with the place. So we go for 3 months now, and we're very fortunate. We have good friends who look after our place when we're gone, but uh, of course, travel was canceled because of COVID, but hopefully we'll be vaccinated and hopefully Thailand will open its borders again. But so,
yeah, and so that way so you're not there for your full winters. You get kind of nicer weather and stuff too. So I'm sure
yeah,
that's nice.
yes, yeah. I wouldn't want to be away from Canada more than that amount of time. You miss home, and so that's good. Miss my granddaughter. So
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything that you would like to talk about or discuss about your books or yourself or anything like that?
well, it's been an experience writing. It's been a very positive experience for me. I enjoy the process of it. Sometimes there are frustrations, but then you kind of get on a bit of a roll, and I think of some twists the story could take, and that's fun. And again, in Thailand, I would sit with friends because there's a little group of us that go, and throw out story ideas, and so that was helpful too. Uh, Often over a cocktail, which helped improve the quality of it for sure. But that the whole, I'm glad I've done it. Whether this third one comes along well enough that I would get Patricia to take a look at it, I don't know. I just turned 70. It's not that my brain went dead, but I don't have as much energy as I had 10 years ago. So I don't know how it's going to go, but it's something to think about. And so it's been a good experience so far.
Well, that's good. And, maybe with things changing and hopefully opening back up,
Yes.
you'll get back into your inspiration again. I think everybody right now is kind of in a bit of a fog and feels a little about everything.
Yeah.
So like I said, hopefully things change and you'll get that spark and we'll get to see a third book from you.
I hope so. You'll be the first to know.
Well, if you don't have anything else, I think we'll wrap up our chat. But it was wonderful talking to you, and it's been good getting back and forth, knowing you through email and obviously through our chat. So thank you again for participating, and I will let you go.
Well, thank you. It's
Yeah,
nice to talk to you.
nice to talk to you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.